Maybe he'll hurry up if he knows we're starting without him.
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And today we are in the beginnings of celebrating African American History Month, and we are honored today to welcome our first guest of the month, Dr. Mark Lomax. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Lomax, as many of us know, is a member and part of a prestigious group of the African American composers of the United States with degrees in classical music, awarded the Wexner Center for the Arts at Ohio State University, Artist in Residence for last year, critically acclaimed composer, recording artist, drummer, activist, and educator. Quite accomplished, specializing in socio-political and spiritual aspects of African American art and music. Congratulations on last month's release of your 400 and African epic music compositions telling the story of Black America over the last 400 years. Quite an accomplishment. Welcome and thank you for being here. And Dr. Lomax, if you could come up to the microphone and talk to us a little bit about what you've been doing, how you've done it, anything you'd like us to know that would inform the audience that watches us on TV and the audience in the room and us.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for having me and for recognizing the work. I grew up in Columbus. I'm a Columbus City Schools grad, Brookhaven all day. And I also...
We love that.
We love that. We love Linden and the whole city. It's been an amazing journey. Three-time grad of Ohio State, so I'm Columbus born and bred. For the last 3 years, since 2016, I've been working on a project to release 12 albums, which we released on January 23rd, that made 40 albums released by my 40th birthday. The 12-album cycle traces the trajectory of Africans who were brought to America as a result of slavery. So the first third is pre-colonial African history. The middle third is what we call the Ma'afa, a Kiswahili term for great tragedy. And the final third is artistically projecting to the future what the world can look like when we're all one connected human family. And the reason why that was important was 2019 marks the 400th commemoration of the first Dutch ships landing in North America with enslaved Africans. And when I realized that in 2016, I called all my friends, my composer friends, arts friends, and I said, what are you all doing? This is only 3 years away. It was on nobody's radar. So I thought I was going to write a 3-movement symphony, and each movement would have been past, present, future kind of idea. It turned into this 12-album thing. So I've slept probably 4 hours in the last 3 years.
Are you catching up now?
I'm working on the actual symphony now. But we got it done with the support of the Wexner Center for the Arts, and so we appreciate their just general technical support, grant that helped us record 7.5 albums in 4 days, and yeah. That's why my grass hasn't been cut.
I was wondering.
We live in the same neighborhood. And so the idea is to take the message of the music, which is we have to look, well, James Baldwin said, not everything faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. Right. So the idea is to use art to engage community in looking at our past. It's a human story. It's not just a Black or a Black American or even African story. It's a human story. Let's look at how tragedy shapes human development and evolution, and then come together around that and face it together so we can make the world better for all of us moving forward. And we're planning to take that message to about 100 colleges and communities around the country between the next 18 months, I think, and then take it to Europe, Asia, Africa, starting in 2021. And I really do appreciate the recognition that the work has gotten, because the story is so important, because we don't often have opportunities where we can come and just talk and engage each other toward some kind of positive outcome that has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with conflict, but it's resolving conflict to move forward together. So I really appreciate you all having me here today. Thank you.
Dr. Lomax, I think you said it so well. It is a human story. We're all part of this story, and I think we all have a piece of the story. And what schools and universities in our region will you be sharing your work?
So February 28th, we actually play our first college is Ohio University in Zanesville, though, the satellite. And then we go to, I'm thinking regionally, we have conversations with University of Cincinnati for the fall of 19.
Okay.
I think that's all in the region. Most of it is like Oklahoma, Virginia, New York right now. So.
Thank you so much.
If I could just add to thank Dr. Lomax for all that you represent and do. You know, the legacy and the history of Africans and African Americans in American history is an important story to tell. I recently had my DNA done, and it really opens up the door to you personally understanding where you come from in a way that I think many of us don't get to experience, many Africans, because of the way our history started in America. And so there is no sort of easy way to track it other than perhaps your DNA, or perhaps you came from a family that was able to kind of stay together and keep some history, but that's very small percentage of African American families. And so I think what you're doing to capture it in an artistic way is a really important part of the story to tell. And so I just wanted to recognize you and thank you, because you're part of the new chapters in the legacy, and that's maybe as important as some of the old. So thank you for what you represent.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. That's a great way to start. We'll need the approval of the minutes of January 17, January 31 briefing sessions.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Minutes have been approved.
Great. Clerk of Courts.
Resolution number 70-19. Resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation to support the FCJS modernization project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Adam Lukaupt on behalf of the Board and the E-Governance Board. And with me today is Jason Sankey, CIO for the Clerk of Courts.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are seeking the approval of a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $53,335 to be transferred from the Criminal Justice Information System Fund. On October 30th of 2018, a resolution was approved in the amount of $90,000 to continue providing professional services with Crow supporting contract negotiations for the new court case management system. This appropriation will cover the remaining balance of what was actually invoiced and paid in 2018 to continue professional services in 2019. And right now, we're currently on track to complete contract negotiations by the end of March.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of resolution 70-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 70-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, next we have the county engineer.
Resolution number 71-19, resolution accepting the annual bridge inspection report for 2018.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer. With me today,
Fritz Crozier.
Commissioners, this first resolution is the annual bridge inspection report for calendar year 2018. And if it's okay with you, I would like to read some facts and figures into the record. 366 bridges and culverts 10 feet and over in span were inspected, 357 of which are county responsibility, and 9 of which are railroads' responsibility. 96% of the Franklin County bridges were rated fair or better. 69% were rated good, very good, or excellent. No Franklin County bridge is closed due to structural deficiencies. None posted with weight reduction limits. None listed as being in serious or critical condition. And no Franklin County bridge presents an immediate or potential danger to life or property. However, 48 Franklin County bridges are over 100 years old. 108 bridges are over 75 years old. 13 bridges are rated in poor condition, and 35 bridges are rated in fair condition.
Mm-hmm.
If there are no comments or questions, well, just before you do, so we have the report. So now what? Just want to make sure the public sort of understands how you approach things after you issue the report.
Sure. So those bridges, the 13 that are rated in poor condition, those are at the top of the list for prioritizing for either rehabilitation, replacement, or repair. And then the next category, the 35 that are in fair condition, those would sort of be on decks. Those would be coming up next as additional deterioration occurs through the years. But again, we monitor these, we inspect every bridge every year, and so we keep a close eye on them.
So the 13 that are in poor condition, how long will it take for those to be sort of corrected or taken to the next level of fair, good, or excellent?
We have 2 that are scheduled for replacement this summer, 2019. We have a few that are in line for replacement in 2020, a couple in 2021, and some even further out into 2023 and further until we have funding that has been set up. And I think this would be a perfect reason for us to consider a transportation improvement district, which we can utilize some of the funds that you all helped us approve a year ago through the additional $5 permissive fee. And we can use this transportation improvement district to help get some of these bridges rehabilitated even sooner than otherwise.
There are no further comments or questions.
Second.
Move for passage.
Second.
71-19.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 71-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 72-19, Mead and Hunt Incorporated consultant engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in providing traffic engineering services, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $50,000.
Commissioners, this resolution is for a professional services contract with Mead and Hunt. We would like to utilize Mead and Hunt for traffic services as mentioned. We used the qualifications-based selection process and would recommend your approval of the contract.
Okay, if there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 72-19.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 72-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 73-19, resolution authorizing a settlement to AT&T for a utility damage claim due to an equipment accident involving a Franklin County Engineers Office employee in the amount of $4,474.06.
Commissioners, during routine maintenance in the right-of-way, an FCEO employee operating a tractor damaged AT&T-owned equipment. There are no injuries reported. Our office has worked closely with the prosecuting attorney's office, and they have approved a total settlement in the amount of $4,474.06. Pending any questions, I'd ask for approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 73-19.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 73-19 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Office on Aging.
Resolution number 74-19, resolution authorizing two grant agreements to provide caregiver support services for Franklin County Senior Options in the amount of $202,414.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michelle Missler, the Director of the Franklin County Office on Aging.
Morning.
This first resolution that we present is authorizing two grant agreements to provide caregiver support services for Franklin County Senior Options. The Franklin County Office on Aging annually awards grant funds to nonprofit organizations in order to expand the community services to the elderly population of Franklin County. Proposals being presented for approval via resolution today are from the Alzheimer's Association and Centero, Inc. They will provide innovative caregiver support services for those aging in Franklin County. In order to highlight the great work this funding affords our community, I would like to invite up Tricia Bingham, the Director of Programs and Services from the Alzheimer's Association.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and talk about this amazing program. This is a very unique and innovative program that the executive director from our Central Ohio chapter at the time in 1993 reached out and wrote an application for the grant funding. So we've had it this long, and I cannot tell you the amount of people that we've been able to impact up to this point. So I'm going to share a little bit of detail about the program itself. It's the Caregiver Consultation and Medically Focused Support Program, and primarily we have an occupational therapist, a nurse, and a master level counselor that can go into the homes of Franklin County residents that are caregivers to someone who has dementia and literally on the spot there work out a proactive plan of care. I'm not sure if you're all aware that 1 out of 3 seniors currently is dying from Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. It is the 6th leading cause of death in the top 10 chronic diseases, and the only one currently without a cure. We have a world health crisis related to the level of people that are affected by Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. Here in Franklin County, if you look at the estimates of 10% of seniors over the age of 65 are affected, based on Franklin County's census of 2017, the 151,000 seniors living over the age of 65 reside in Franklin County. 10% of those that would be affected by Alzheimer's disease is over 15,000 individuals. Statistically, it's shown that there are 2 to 3 caregivers involved with every person that has Alzheimer's disease. So we're looking at nearly 45 to 50,000 caregivers in Franklin County alone that are facing caregiving challenges of someone who has Alzheimer's disease. The longevity of this disease could be up to 20 years. The average lifespan is 4 to 8 years. So you can only imagine the safety issues that go along with someone who has Alzheimer's disease in the home. And to be able to have, as I said, a nurse or an occupational therapist or a counselor make that home visit based on a referral and provide a plan of care at that moment and think futuristically about the challenges that are ahead can save tremendous billions in Medicaid dollars just on helping the caregiver allow their loved one to age in place as long as possible. The skill sets for caregivers are lacking. This is a very arduous disease. It's not just about memory loss. It's about hallucinations and delusions and behavior challenges, and it is a devastating disease. So I'd like to share with you some numbers that we had this past year. We touched, for first-time individuals, almost 900 people last year. That was over 122 home visits, and that was also provided through 16 monthly caregiver support groups that are available to the public. We have a cause in our association where we're only currently reaching 8% of the population, and our goal by 2025 is to reach 80%. And it's through programs like this that offer this invaluable support. That $139,265 in real value doesn't compare. We have saved the state and the city and the federal government thousands upon thousands of dollars by being proactive and meeting people where they are before it reaches crisis level. We can save money in educating the caregiver on understanding the difference on how to work with behaviors so we can reduce transportation to ER, psychiatric units at hospital, and safety and injury issues in the home to negate those and reduce the back and forth to the hospital with the caregiver and their loved one. I have a recent referral to share with you. Our occupational therapist made this visit to someone who was a 92-year-old veteran who is caring for his 90-year-old wife who has Alzheimer's disease. He's never reached out to our chapter. She's in the middle stages, and he has a son that is 60 years old and has esophageal cancer. And the reason we got involved was because he had to call 911 to get his son, who was having a medical crisis, to the emergency room. And through a CARES program through the Upper Arlington Police Department, they referred this client to our chapter to do a home visit and help provide resources through our chapter and, of course, community resources and build in those supports that are desperately needed at the time. The other situation we had recently was a Nepali family. The large family living in an apartment complex. The mother has dementia. She wandered out of the apartment. She was looking for her daughter that lived in another nearby apartment complex but was confused and could not find it. Chris got involved, which is an international support agency, and they made a referral to us. We got in touch with a translator. Actually, they helped us get in touch with a translator, and our occupational therapist made a visit to the apartment. There were 12 family members there waiting for us. Clearly did not understand that 6 out of 10 people who have dementia will wander. This is a huge life-threatening safety issue for many people who have dementia, among other things. And so this was an opportunity to educate this family who typically in this culture does not reach out for help. And then it eventually led to a PowerPoint on understanding dementia that was translated into Nepali for a group of Nepalians that live in that community.
These are the critical services that I know, Michelle, you deal with on a daily basis with seniors.
Absolutely, and to have a warm handoff in the community,
Oh.
supporting the Alzheimer's and the other related dementia population is
Yeah.
absolutely imperative. So thank you, Tricia. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
and just enlightening us on what this funding does for our community.
Tricia, how does somebody get in touch with your agency if they have a need to, if somebody in the family or somebody, if they need to be in touch with you guys?
Well, that's a great question because we have many means or avenues available, but this is a golden gem of a program that we're still trying to get the word out. We've actually been concentrating on healthcare systems and physicians. I don't know if you know, but 50% of those individuals that have Alzheimer's disease, the doctor is not telling them when they do know this. So there's a lot of education to be done, but how people find out about us and through this program is they call our 24/7 helpline. We have a 24/7 helpline available through our association. Anybody can call for any reason, number of times. We're there on the spot. So when they call our helpline, they can be referred to our chapter for this program. Working with Chris and working with the CARES through the Upper Arlington Police and the other fire departments to let them know that we have this program. We talk about the program through media, through Facebook, through our newsletter. We also advertise through our support groups and our education.
So
Can
what are
you
those,
give the
what are those the numbers, the Facebook page, so how do we get the information to them? What are those numbers, what are those contact information?
We actually have an online referral form right now that's new this past 2 years. That is for this program. It's our care consultation referral program online. We have a hard copy referral, but if you call 1-800-272-3900, which is our helpline, and ask about the caregiver support program, they will make sure that they get that information to us, the helpline specialists. It's word of mouth, and it's actually, many people call our helpline and don't know about this program, and then we can feed them the information about the program, and we turn this into these
And then how do they get in
referrals.
touch with you online?
Yes.
What's the website?
www.alz.org/Central Ohio.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 74-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting, Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 74-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 75-19. Resolution authorizing 7 grant agreements to provide supportive services for Franklin County senior options in the amount of $728,053.
The Office on Aging presents this resolution authorizing 7 grant agreements to provide supportive services for Franklin County senior options. The Franklin County Office on Aging annually awards these grant funds to nonprofit organizations. These additional supportive services cover a wide range of services such as bill paying, sorting and reading mail, dealing with medical bills, medical insurance claims, signing up for public benefits, finding affordable and or safer housing, procuring needs and items from the furniture bank, accessing the food pantry, finding affordable medications, advocating for clients with landlords. Proposals being presented for approval via resolution today are from Catholic Social Services, Clintonville Beachwold Resources Center, Concord Counseling Services, St. Stephen's Community Services, and Centero. These services will provide those unique support services for those aging in Franklin County. In order to highlight the great work of this funding, I would like to invite up Julie Irwin Rinaldi, from the CEO from Centero, to share a few words.
Great.
Good morning. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm shorter than everybody else that's come up here. So
Yeah, move the microphone.
You seem tall today.
That's better. Oh. The conductor came up here and knew exactly what to do. I'm like, he's like, no, thank you. I'm really here to thank you. Centero is a nonprofit organization that's been providing services in Franklin County for over 40 years. And we received both the caregiving grant and the supported services grant. We have been doing this since 1981, and we just want to thank you so much for everything you're doing as commissioners, for the levy, for the residents of Franklin County who continue to support our work. I think the two things that we're seeing more of when we're going into the homes, one, and this was mentioned before, is that we're seeing people living longer, and so unfortunately what's happening is some of their caregivers are not. And so oftentimes caregivers are dying before their parents that they're caregiving for. And so we're having to go in and really support families that are losing kind of folks that weren't expected to be lost at that time. The other piece is just housing. We're being called in a lot of times when folks are just about ready to lose their housing and it's a crisis. And so there's a lot of work being done in the community that I want you to be aware of, that we're keeping people, making sure they're staying in their homes, and that's very important to folks.
It is,
So,
and we appreciate that and all that you're doing.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
We do have another speaker who would like to speak on this resolution, Mary Ellen Miller. And I'm sure you were teed up for this, right? If you'd like to speak at the microphone here, you can do that. Welcome again.
Thank you, and good morning, honorable commissioners. I am Mary Ellen Miller, and I am a member of the BREAD organization. I am in favor of the resolution being voted on today. BREAD is working on elder care. It's our newest problem that was voted in this past November, and it is certainly a part of affordable housing of what we just heard. And so I am here to speak on affordable housing, and you know that we've been attending for the last several meetings to share our members' struggles and on this, and because we know that the county is conducting a poverty survey, and I even brought along my copy of the dispatch because it's good to see that things are moving forward. Currently, as you know, there are not enough solutions in place for the 54,000 low-income households targeted by the Affordable Housing Alliance of Central Ohio. This story is the story of one of our staff members. 6 years ago, she found a roommate and a new home in an apartment off Stelzer Road in Columbus. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment with a garage. It was for $600 a month. Wow. This was highly affordable and located in a safe, decent area. It was within walking distance of grocery stores and amenities. 2 years later, she and her roommate received a notice that the apartment complex was under new management. The rent was going to increase to $850. They tried to find another apartment in the area that would still be affordable. That was impossible because the other apartment complexes nearby were already having rent increases to nearly $1,000 a month. They ultimately decided to stay and figure out how to split the $250. They saw many of their longtime neighbors forced out of the complex. Senior citizens, large families, single adults moved to the suburbs where they found housing, but it was still more expensive than the former $600 that they had been paying. You see, this isn't just a Columbus problem. It's a Franklin County problem and probably beyond. The rent has continued to increase, and some neighbors are paying nearly $1,100 per month. Our staff member and her roommate could be the next people forced out. Increasing the conveyance fee could lead to millions of additional dollars per year to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. This would help thousands of families. As you finish this study, we challenge you to be sure to increase the conveyance fee to the maximum $4 allowed by state law. And I do want to say that I did read the article, and I support Commissioner Boyce's statement about this is complicated. It's not just, we can't fix it with this, we can't fix it just with this and what the city is giving for in that new bond that they hope to pass. It's complicated.
It is.
And, but this can make a big step forward. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Also, I too want to thank Ms. Miller for coming, and I'm really glad you emphasized that point, because I just want to reiterate that, in order for us to tackle affordable housing, the conveyance fee alone, raising it, is not going to solve the problem. We need everyone to sort of come to the table with resources, plan together, and really take this in a comprehensive way. I wanted to just pose a question to Director Telerik that's here, and that's, so when, I want to make sure I understand the conveyance fee. So under the scenario that Ms. Miller identified, when a property transfers from one owner to the next, so one person buys it from the next person, embedded in those costs would be a conveyance fee, correct?
That is correct.
So when the new owner purchases the place, if we raise the conveyance fee, they essentially will take that cost and put it back to the residents that now are in that place. So owner A, owner B, owner A sells owner B has this increased conveyance fee cost, and owner B says to recover their costs, they're going to pass them on to the people who are renting. And am I saying that correct in terms of how the conveyance fee is transferred? So that it would definitely be a part of the transfer, and then more than likely the new owner is going to transfer that cost.
When there's a new owner, yes, that would.
If it's a rental property, yeah.
That's
if
correct.
it's purchased for a rental property.
So, or even for the purchaser, because the purchaser would take the new cost
Right.
Of the conveyance
Correct.
fee. And so my point for raising that is that, yeah, it will generate additional resources for us to put towards affordable housing, but someone is paying for that. And it could be at the cost of the residents who rent that place. And so we have to be just thoughtful, I think, about, because I don't disagree with you anything you said. I think you're spot on. But part of our thought process is figuring out how we can minimize that kind of impact to the people who need it the most. And so, because typically that's a private transfer, we're charging charging them in the transfer of the property, and then the new owner is going to say, well, I'm not going to eat that, so I'm going to pass it on to the new owners. And so, oftentimes it's at the hands of those families who need that place, and often they're already residents there. And so in our conversations around poverty, this is the kind of thing we're talking about how sort of the hidden ways that we can attack poverty that we often don't see. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because your example is very typical of how families are impacted via cost of to live in a home, and so raising those conveyance fees could actually have an adverse effect. So we're thinking through how to do this in a way that it doesn't. And so I wanted to assure you that's the kind of critical thinking that's taken place. So thank you for your input, thank you for your comments, and I can assure you that everything you said is being taken to heart and is very much a part of our consideration plan. I definitely want to speak for my colleagues, but I've just had this conversation with them too many times to know what you say matters, and we're trying to figure this out best we can so that we protect those families in need. So thank you. If there are no further comments or questions.
No, you
Move.
said it.
Move for passage of 75-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 75-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 76-19. Resolution authorizing a grant contract between the Central Ohio Agency on Aging and Franklin County Office on Aging for services under the National Family Caregiver Support Program in the amount of $291,918.
This resolution authorizes a grant contract between the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging and the Franklin County Office on Aging for services under the National Family Caregiver Program. The Office on Aging has been selected as the recipient of these funds allocated for Franklin County and awarded via a grant contract by the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. This program allows us to support older adults and their caregivers by providing numerous resources that are outside of the scope of the levy. This program totals $291,918 for the period of January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 76-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 76-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 77-19. Resolution authorizing a novation agreement with Gentle Hands Non-Medical Home Care Agency.
The Office on Aging requests that this resolution be tabled for 1 week as we're still waiting on the contract to be returned from the vendor.
If there are no comments or questions, move to table for 1 week, Resolution 77-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 77-19 has been tabled for 1 week.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 78-19. Review a petition to annex 1.084 acres from Franklin Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX 32-18.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jenny Snap, Economic Development and Planning.
This is a resolution is to consider an expedited Type 2 annexation petition of 1.084 acres from Franklin Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes property at Eureka Avenue. There are 3 parcels, which are west of North Eureka Avenue, south of Valley View Drive and the Camp Chase rail line, east of Eldon Avenue, and north of Westwood Drive. Petition was filed by attorney Jeffrey Lewis on behalf of the property owner 370 North Eureka LLC. 44% of the site's perimeter is contiguous with Columbus, and the city passed ordinance number 3416-2018 on December 10th, 2018, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved and a statement regarding incompatible land uses in a zoning buffer. Petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
There are no comments or questions? Move for passage of 78-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 78-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Purchasing.
Resolution number 79-19. Resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,844,839.38.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuthbert, Director of Purchasing. The resolution before you requests for approval of 101 purchase orders. 7 of these purchase orders totaling over $115,000 were awarded to small emerging business enterprises. Of the full purchase order total, that represents 7% of the PO volume and 6.3% of the total purchase order cost. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as to availability of funds by the county auditor. Pending any questions, I recommend their approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 79-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 79-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 80-19, resolution to designate the official representative and alternative for the purpose of voting at the annual meeting of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio in 2019.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Chalerick with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would authorize Commissioner Boyce as the official voting representative of Franklin County and Commissioner O'Grady as the designated alternate. This is the same setup that we had last year for the County Commissioners Association annual meeting. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 80-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 80-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 81-19, resolution authorizing a consulting services contract with Franklin Hirsch to support the County Hospital Commission of Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $16,000.
Commissioners, this would be in the same amount as last year's contract for Mr. Hirsch to provide administrative counsel services to the Hospital Commission. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 81-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce? Yes. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 81-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 82-19, resolution reappointing Dr. Joseph Aludo and Frank Capello to Columbus Franklin County Finance Authority Board of Trustees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Frank Capella, not a cappella, so I will not sing this resolution to you. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of these reappointments.
Oh, move approval of resolution 82-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Abstain.
Resolution number 82-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Any journalizations?
There's none, Commissioner.
Well, then we are adjourned for today, and see everybody next week.